online, like my favorite place to like just look at what people are doing is Twitter. And people reveal so much about what they do sexually on Twitter. And recently I came across this video, and the video was of this Caucasian older man, maybe his 50s, 60s, I don't know. But the setup was there was a woman in bondage in a very narrow cage, and there was a very small hole in the floor. So please don't judge me. I don't even know how this video came up on my timeline. I'm just going through my timeline one day and I see this weird shit. I follow some of these weird obscura pages, and sometimes they repost weird ass shit like this. I don't look at illegal shit, but sometimes weird bondage stuff pops up. But anyway, so this woman is in a like almost like a bird cage, a very, very narrow bird cage, maybe only giving an inch of space around her entire body. She has on a full head mask. She's in handcuffs, ankle cuffs, in stiletto heels, and in, I guess, a bra and panties. The cage is locked. This guy opens up this circle in the floor, takes this thing out. He pushes her onto the circle, lowers her into the floor, puts a rug over it, conceals it so you can't even see that it's there, and then puts an ottoman on top of that.
What the?
Exactly. So I'm looking at the comment section, and then people are like, yo, there are legit people out here that need this to get off. Like, what? Okay, so I okay, so I'm watching the video and I'm just it doesn't go anywhere sexually. He basically just lowers her into the floor, and then the next scene is him just, sitting on his couch enjoying a cup of coffee. And
But
I
he's
guess
turned on by this.
yes.
Ew.
So while I'm like questioning how basic I am in the bedroom, I do think that there are some extreme sexual behaviors out there that are so non-basic that I'm just like, I don't even know where I am on the spectrum anymore, because
That's just too far. That's just, I mean, I get it's all about consent, right? And I really want to like drive all of this. I think we need to repeat that over and over and over again for our listeners this season. Everything is about consent.
Yeah.
So everything we are sharing with you, everything we are talking about this season has to include consent. 100%. And we're just going to have to keep drilling it into our listeners. So
yeah,
everything
outside of consent is rape, basically.
Yes.
So if someone is saying no in any way, shape, or form, yeah.
Right. We're not condoning any of that.
No.
And I'm not even saying I'm condoning this video that you saw, but like,
no, I'm not. Well, it's for BDSM people.
Right. And I understand that some people
yeah.
have that style and they're really into it. And as long as they both were consenting parties to it and they both get something out of it, that's their thing. And so I do want to respect that people have their thing. They are attracted to different types of things. What about the foot fetish? I dated a guy once who had a massive foot fetish and he just wanted my toes in his mouth all the time. It was the creepiest thing to me.
Ew.
But for some people, they're like, that's cool. Or how about men who
actually love to get... okay, go ahead.
How about ass men, real ass men? I just had this conversation last night actually, with someone about like how weird it is that there are ass men that really want their face in your ass. Like they want to eat out your ass. Sorry for the vulgarity. Anyways, point being, it is a sexual preference that someone has. And as long as you have two consenting parties, that's their thing. That's fine. That's extreme in my opinion, but that's just my opinion. But let's talk about the vanillas out there, which I hate that we use that word for them, because if it comes to ice cream or cake flavor, I fucking love vanilla.
I know, it's so tasty. So yeah, even when I make the joke about like, oh, I'm vanilla sometimes, people are like, I was like, that's such a diss to vanilla, actually, because vanilla is actually good.
I love vanilla.
I do too, yeah. But we're talking about like people, like what do we define as
right
vanilla basic sex? Like, what is that?
I would think, for one, it's, and I don't want to say missionary, just because sometimes missionary style for men and women is a really nice way to connect.
Yeah. Face to face.
Right.
Mhm.
However, I'm talking about, let me rephrase this then, because I want to include all relationships. So I would say, and this is again my personal opinion, vanilla basic is just one style of a sexual position.
All the time.
So all the time. So
Mhm.
whether it's from behind or in front, it doesn't matter if you're always standing, always, whatever it is.
Mhm.
But there's no variety. It's
There's
always
no
the same position.
deviation. Yeah.
Exactly. Same
Yeah.
position. And it's a job.
Mhm.
Get in, get out. I'm doing my duty.
Mhm. It reminds me of those scenes. You've probably seen them in movies where the it's usually a female character. I mean, it happens a lot more with gay characters, but it's usually a female character laying there in bed and the guy is going at it. He's having a good day of time. He comes, finishes, rolls over, goes to sleep, and she just, pulls the covers over her breasts and shave and somehow goes on to the next scene or whatever. It
Right. Of
seems like
course.
that's kind of vanilla sex where it's really just about one partner getting satisfaction while the other figures out the rest on their own. Would you consider that kind of sort of vanilla in a way? Because it seems like that's where that's stemming from.
I think it can be. It depends on the act that happened leading up to that
Okay.
scene, because sometimes
Okay.
I have seen really sensual scenes in movies that it's missionary style,
Hmm.
but it is very sensual.
Yeah.
That I don't think is vanilla. Like if you are always having sex in one position, but you are very sensual about it
Hmm.
and you are able to connect,
Hmm.
then I don't think that's super basic. I'm thinking more like the stereotypical, we have our scheduled sex every Saturday night, or
Hmm.
maybe not even, maybe it's just holidays and birthdays now. And we get into bed and we have sex in our one position. Maybe we occasionally try another position, but we're
Hmm.
not really connecting because sex is just rote. It's
Hmm.
boring now. It's just, I want to make sure you get off. You want to make sure I get off. And we're done and we roll over in a bed and we go to sleep. I know, look at your
Hmm.
face. I wish our listeners could see your face right now.
That is so disappointing. This okay. I don't want to assume, but do you think that happens more to straight couples? Because I almost feel like by definition, this is going to sound shitty, gay people have to be sexually explore things more and do more. Although there's people coming out now saying, I'm a conservative, I'm a traditional gay, I like to do things just like my parents did it, yada, yada, yada. But do you think that happens more so with straight couples? Because sex isn't
Uh-huh.
seen as like, a recreational thing. Because I know for like some people, like especially some religious people, they really only have sex when it's time to have a baby.
That's exactly what I was going to say. It's the procreation,
Hmm.
right? There are some couples that believe like sex is really not meant to be just for pleasure. It's meant
Hmm.
to just procreate. And I don't want to like go down that rabbit hole of religious beliefs or anything like
Hmm.
that.
No,
We
but
want to stick to the majority, that 51%. That's always what we're talking about. We're talking about
hmm.
that majority group of
Hmm.
like couples who get together, whether they're married or not, it doesn't
Hmm.
matter. And it could be couples that are together for like a few months, because that
Hmm.
can happen. That shit can happen so fast in a relationship, it'll make your head spin.
Like
You
the
would be
sexual shift.
surprised how fast someone can get comfortable. Here's a good example. You have two people dating
Hmm.
and they go on 5 dates, and we'll talk heterosexual relationship, right? The man pursues. He plans dates. He wants to really impress her. He's got her now.
Hmm.
She's down. They have sex. She's
Hmm.
committed. She likes him. They have the conversation about being exclusive and exclusively dating.
Hmm.
Fast forward a few more weeks and they're calling each other boyfriend, girlfriend. Fast forward a couple more weeks. And now their sex life is starting to become